Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. We have a battle here on Bocage and 1v1 again with Q and Professor. There's a lot of the matches between these two. It's a Western Front battle. Let's go for the players. We have Q representing the United States of America today, heading into the Bocage with the year of France. No commander choice yet. And while we also have Professor representing the Wehrmacht today.
We have a fresh grenadier squad.
Wehrmacht without a commander choice by the looks of it, so I suppose we'll pick the commanders later. Anyway, Q is starting up with double rifleman, while looks like Professor is just gonna go for double Volksgrenadiers. I'll give him a little bit of presence on the ground. Bocage is a map I've seen once before. I think it's a new map that been added to the workshop that's a little bit more popular in 1v1 circles, I think. Definitely seems that way. Anyway, it looks like the Germans are gonna try and digging around this munitions point first of all. Volksgrenadiers come onto the ground to secure territory for the Reich. The Americans have already secured their setup points here. So give them more munitions quickly. Third rifleman squad coming out. That's a pretty standard opening, I think, for the Americans. There's lots of riflemen out to help take the reign and put the fight to the Germans. Plus, we know Q is very good at utilizing the riflemen in conjunction with one another, so they can like outflank the Germans and kill them. Germans are going to need to keep a good eye on their flanks. Third Volksgrenadiers come out. Looks like we're just going to go in for full-on Volksgrenadiers here from the Germans. They're not staying to catch the point. Interesting. As they're preparing for an encounter with the Americans here shortly. Ooh. That's going to be bad for those Volksgrenadiers, I think. Once they engage. Americans went into the building. Here comes more Americans. They're about to flank these Volksgrenadiers. That's a lot of fire coming their way. That's a Volksgrenadier, I'm pretty sure. Germans want to stay at range when they're fighting the Americans early on. Because Wehrmacht does not have any close combat infantry early on. Well, all American infantry is considered close assault infantry because they're using semi-automatic rifles to the bolt actions. Of course, the Volksgrenadiers are technically using Sturmgewehrs at the moment, but they are not because they're statistically still Kar-98s according to the game files. Which I know is a little bit silly, but I do hope they perhaps change that just because the visuals might confuse people. But lots of Sturmgewehrs opening fire now on the American position there. And there's a lot of firepower coming in. The Americans are pulling back. But meanwhile, it's allowed the rear echelons to secure this flank up here. So no commander choice from either commander. Germans are going to dig in around here while the Volksgrenadiers push up to probably take the field. Also American 30 cal on the field. Also some medics. And we have an MG42 coming out for the Germans. MG42 is a pretty damn powerful machine gun. Probably the best basic machine gun you can get in the game, I'd wager, just because of the rate of fire. American 30 cal is not that bad, but against the MG42, I'll definitely go for the MG42. Third Volksgrenadier replacement coming up to obviously replace the losses.
MG42 team is ready for action.
MD42, 1,200 rounds per minute. Pretty damn lethal. Legal mine going up, good to see. Now long range here, I think the Pioneers will win that engagement in the long run. Thanks to the use of Kar-98s. Meanwhile we have a mine here being set up by the Americans, an M6. That'll definitely blow up some tank. I'm not sure where the MT-42 is planning to go. More Eagle mines being laid. That 30 cal might get spotted here. And I think the Volksgrenadiers could actually assault it, but they refuse. They're not going to do it by the looks of it. MT-42 set up here. But Realism might go for them. But they are in range of the base defenses. But they will be able to throw a pineapple. Good grenade. Didn't kill the machine gun though. 30 cal side blocked. And it's actually out of range, never mind. Well, Germans are securing the northern flank briefly. But I think the German position down here might be in peril. As that 30 cal is about to flank them. And that's not a good position to be in. And the 30 cal is now ripping into them. Well, they only lost one guy. And we also have a command choice. Looks like it is Wehrmacht Panzer Division. Okay. So we have the Panzer Division here trying to hold back the Americans in the Bocage. Or amongst the Bocage. Whatever you call these kind of hedge throws. I think that's what they're called, basically.
Enemy forces are securing our
I believe
territory.
because he's playing as Panzer, he also just gets access to flamethrowers. It's interesting.
We have a mortar team available.
Mortar
for
also
deployment.
arriving for the Germans here. Manned by Panzer Grenadiers. Because now most of his troops are actually gonna be Panzer Grenadier themed.
Forward headquarters, our opponents are seizing a sector.
Americans are securing ground down here. Germans have the manpower advantage at the moment by just having more units on the field. That could very quickly change. Bosconians get behind cover here quickly. More Bosconians might be able to... they're not going to flank in that position. Dangerous move, but they're getting behind light cover. Vertical still present. Smoke grenade going out. Well, that's actually a steel hand grenade. Very good throw. MP4 just being loaded up. Mortar present. Now the vertical knows there is a mortar nearby. Oh, good shot there from the mortar. Gonna force the vertical to move.
And ready to advance rapidly.
Retreating. But these Volksgrenadiers are not gonna hold.
Lost a gun crew.
Should probably have thrown a smoke grenade before retreating, but looks like it might work out. MT-42 is also setting up. The Americans are gonna have to evacuate because of that. 2-1 coming out. Pretty basic thing for the Wehrmacht. The MP40s will definitely give the Volksgrenadiers an upper hand in close range, or at least help them in close range engagements with the Americans. Also a fairly cheap upgrade, really. MP42 move up to the next area. Looks like both the Regal mines blew up. I missed that. It. Smoke grenade. Oh, so he can grab the machine gun because it's in range of the MD42. Oh yeah, he did have a minesweeper though. Let's notice that. Oh, they suppressed them while retreating. Oh, that's a dead machine gun again, I think. Yeah. That MG42 is in a really good position. They could move up again. He's just gonna keep them behind these locks. Plus, it's a good Overwatch position. 2-1 becoming a 2-2-2. Pretty basic opening for the Americans. Well, not the Americans, for the Wehrmacht. Lots of Volksgrenadiers pushing up here now, supporting it. Though it's good to have some infantry support for your 2-1. Oh, and the mine though, but it did not destroy it. Destroy it. That is a huge deal. Because of that thing surviving, it's immobilized though. The Americans have the chance to stop it. Looks the riflemen are moving to do so with a... They'll probably use a rifle grenade. Yep, and there it goes. So it didn't really help at all. Very good plan there from the Americans staying that mine early. Like, anti-tank mine should not be underestimated at all. But the German mortar is opening fire again. American half-track coming out with a 50 caliber. No, it's a quad mower. Okay, so it's a quad 50 cals. And the Americans might have a little bit harder with all the MP40s now, but they're using fire superiority. That's going to allow the Americans to fire a lot faster and suppress with their weapons. The Americans are able to flank. And he's going to go behind the cover, behind the destroyed 2-1. Good pineapple. But the Americans are taking losses here. More pineapples going out. One American squad down.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Pioneers pulling back. Both Grenadiers pulling back. Oh, not good here for the Germans. They have to evacuate this position, I think. They're taking too many heavy losses. Grenadiers not going to save them. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's painful to watch. That's very painful. Triple Volksgrenadiers coming out as replacements now. Command 2 Luke's coming onto the field. Now this will be able to deal with the quad mower pretty easily, I think. Thanks to his also cannon. Half track is moving. Don't think the German support teams are gonna be able to stop that. Just because it's gonna appear in the flank there.
Grenadier squad is ready.
Going for the mortar first. The quad turns very slowly, so him stopping up there might actually just have saved them. But here's the Lux, and immediately taking out the quad's tracks. And there we go. Quad down. Actually did not do that much. The Americans are now having a little bit of issues here.
Panzer here. We have a fresh grenadier squad.
Oh, he's targeting through. He knows they're there.
Ready for orders.
Now the Command 2 Lux can actually capture territory, which can be pretty handy early game.
The enemy is taking our territory.
But most of the shots are just hitting the wrecks there. The Germans have been cut off from their fuel up there, though, so they need to retake that quickly. I'll get some Volksgrenadiers out there to handle that. More MP40s being loaded. It's a pretty good choice against Americans, as it will help him be able to fight them. Well, a little bit easier anyway. The Americans with BARs are also pretty damn lethal. BAR is a pretty competent battle rifle. Able to lay down very accurate and suppressive fire, but it only has 20 rounds per magazine, so you have to reload it very frequently. It's actually not that accurate now that I look at it. It's suppressive though, and it is cheap for a machine gun. American AT gun has arrived, 57mm. Pack 40 coming out for the Germans. Help them deal with any future allied armor. I think if Professor had the resources, they could probably... Oh, he's taking up. But if the Professor had the resources, they could probably invest in a unit of Panzer Grenadiers to support the Panther II. I suppose the Volksgrenadiers are doing a decent enough job. That is a lot of MP40s, though. And the Panther II has to be careful. There is a 57 nearby. Eagle mines going up, good to see.
The peg gun is ready for orders.
Pack 40 coming into the field here, manned by Panzer Grenadiers. Americans are trying to dig in on the south. Double fighting position, okay. That's a pretty big investment. MD-42 and mortar has not moved out yet. They are doing it now. Panzer II swinging southwards, that'll definitely stop those positions being established. And that autocannon is doing a good job. Pretty accurate at range, actually. 50 cal opening fire, but the 50 cal at the frontal arm of a Lux will not do anything, I think.
Infantry can march.
Yeah, it's just clinging off.
At your command.
Stuka bomb called into the turret at point. Rifle they go out. Getting hit. And fighting position down. American fuel has been cut off because of that, actually. Volksgrenadiers just pushing southwards. Yeah, I think the Americans might want to consider pulling back from that. Yeah, the MP40s are definitely showing. .57mm is probably in trouble there. It's being very aggressive, good to see. You generally want to be very aggressive if you're playing as the Wehrmacht against Americans. You want to not let the Americans get the upper hand. Can Lux capture? It should be able to capture, but it's not doing it. Huh, I don't think it can, even though it says it does there on the aura bar. Oh, that's its second 57. Good high explosive, did not kill the squad though. A double 57. Groß Deutschland Panzer Grenadiers coming out, good choice. High explosive missed. Panzer II needs to be careful. Groß Deutschland is a pretty good choice because it's a unique unit you can only get one of at a time if you're playing as Panzer. Very unique unit within the German military structure. Recruited from all across of Germany rather than a single region, basically. A pretty fascinating propaganda division, really, in that kind of example. He needs to get out of there. He's not gonna get out. Yep.
Infantry squad has been killed.
Well, Panzer II almost went down. Großdeutschland pushing up here. They can be equipped with a lot of good equipment, and they count as recon infantry. They're like kind of meant to scout for ahead for your tanks, which is a pretty good utilization of them. Now I wait, they're probably gonna get an LMG-42 or the scope geweers. What I think might happen. Overall, very good squad. Always worth getting if you're playing as Panzer. They're kind of meant to be one of your big and important units. Most likely they're going to be getting the LMG-42. Pretty handy. Always nice to have a very accurate squad like them. I'd say he might aim for a Panzer too if they can get to Veterans too, but I would personally just go for the Gewehr 43 on top of the LMG-42. They can deal with infantry a lot easier and scout further ahead. Americans are securing the northern field up here, denying it to the Germans. Very potent squad, that. Both grenadiers are still gearing up, things of replacements. Now, if you want to spend the resource, you could just go for Panzer Grenadiers instead from the 15th. But I guess he's just going to rely more on the Vos Grenadiers as his basic infantry. Take elements from the 183rd. And the Großdeutschland should probably be wary about what could be around the corner there. Out in the open, they are elite infantry, but they will suffer heavy damage. Americans pull back behind these sandbags instead. They are going up, good usage of their recon abilities. I'll reveal to him that the Americans are not there at the point.
Upgrade complete. We are ready for action.
Still no medic station for the Germans back at base.
Panzer Grenadiers.
Can you see them? Yes, he can. Recon infantry does a very high sight range. Now the question is, who will win that engagement? Looks like the Americans might win thanks to their fire superiority. Yeah, they got suppressed. Yeah, so these Großdeutschland is not gonna win that engagement for a while. Not taking that many hits though. They are being very safe behind that little bit of stone cover, but they lost a guy there. Where Panzer 2 needs to be very cautious. But the autocannon will help. That's force the Americans to pull back. Oh, good smoke barrage over here. If you're gonna buy the Americans some more time. Großdeutschland is pushing up though. Exposed being loaded on the 57. Overshot, but that's also because they were charging forwards. They're gonna Panzerfaust it, destroying it entirely. Now they don't want to run into the Großdeutschland while they have the LMG-42 ready and pointed at them. But if they're on the move, they cannot fire it. They have to be stationary. Which the HMG-42 is still holding up down here. The Großdeutschland is pulling back. But without the AT gun, the Panzer II can move up a lot easier. And that looks will just slowly kill them bit by bit. We also have a command Stug on the field, so the Germans are getting a lot more equipment. Over Blitz coming out. Battlefield is silent on the southern flank, just American mortars slowly harassing the German position. Looks pushing up, it's already Veterans 2. 57mm got a good shot. War Eagle mines going out. Is that a 3-inch? Yeah, so the Americans are bringing out a bigger gun. Guess the 57s are not really cutting it anymore. Not that they've had to fight much apart from the Lukes. The Manstug will definitely be a little bit more of an issue though. Also the German mortar is still operational. Still no real armor from the American side. Second heavy machine gun coming out for the Germans. Another Eagle mine, good to see. Lots of utilization of the mines. That's also a very important German thing to do, because your mines are cheaper if you're playing against the Germans. So good reason to use them.
The Maschinengewehr team is awaiting orders.
Focus landing down here by the machine gun. Not sure what the Uber Blitz is doing down here. Might be just serving as a reinforce point. Bocage is pushing down. And the Obelisk can actually increase its enforced range a fair bit. But yeah, he's trying to get a safe retreat there. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Those 5 men are gonna get mowed down out of the smoke there. Oh, they might actually survive. Yeah, they're actually gonna get out of there with barely any HP though. Only one guy. But it saved the squad. And saving your squads is always important. Needs to get the Panzer II repaired. Another machine gun here. Hopefully this is setting up to reinforce, but they can just get the reinforce upgrade, which means increases its reinforce radius by 30 meters, which is a pretty big deal. Means you could like have it back here and it could still reinforce. I need to start using Uber Blitzers more whenever I play. Double A2 coming out here for the Americans, okay. Very potent.
What the hell am I meant to do with these recruits? Green as green can be.
A2 is definitely going to be a little bit of a hard sell for the Germans to punch through, but they do have that Stuk in the pack. If they can utilize that correctly, they could stop it. I also believe all the German infantry have been equipped with Panzerfausts. By the way. A little bit of mortar engagement. Both more American mortars are in counter brush. Not a lot of American infantry to stop the Volksgrid here still. Sherman is showing up though. Oh, it's loaded entirely with high explosives? Did Q rush for Thunder Run? I think it might have been what happened. Yeah, he rushed for Thunder Run. Okay, very fascinating strategy, and looks like it might be working. Definitely gonna make these Germans very good at dealing with all the infantry. The Germans gonna need to get another armor of some kind. Driver injured thanks to the pack. That's not gonna save it from a high explosive shell, I think. Command Stuk is relocating quickly. Second Stuk G, okay. Stuk G is not the worst choice against them. If you can keep the front pointed. Americans remanning the 3-inch. Germans really have to get some more stuff on the field now if they're dealing with the A2 Germans that already have explosive. Also, commander choice. Looks like it's going to be US Mechanized. And common engineers are being called in. Very cool to see. Also some more mechanized troops arriving. But I need to just get to under the repairs here. Yes, Stuk G arriving for the Germans alongside some Panzer Grenadiers are arriving. The 15th can be utilized pretty well, can be equipped with Sturmgewehrs, and that's exactly what's going to happen. 60 munitions though for 2 guns. Very costly. And MP4s on top of it, okay, he's going full on assault with them. Oh, and that's Luxus being very lucky. Oh, good mortar shell right there. That's that AT gun taken care of. Because the American rifleman will move to try and retake it. Because doesn't look like he's able to actually destroy it with the autocannon. He recruited thanks to the smoke. And the Panzer II has to pull out of that. He's attack grounding. Oh, yeah, he got him. Okay. Here's the second Stuk G. Command Stuk still keeping out of the south. Americans, there's quite a bit of a force there. And Command EC8 coming around too to lead the tanks. Need Commander available to Mechanized. Pretty damn powerful. Because not only do you get a major, you also get a freaking EC8 on top of it at the same time. And the EC8 is no joke. Panzer Grenadier is now supporting the Panzer II and the Stuk G up here. And the MT-42 has also been set up here to cover the center. Those the EC8 will lead the charge.
M3 half tracks ready to be
I don't think the Germans are going to have what needs to stop an EC8 command tank. The Master has to do a lot of work here. Oh, the Stuk is quickly moving down, but it might be too late. Pack already been decrewed. But here's one of the advantages of using the American tanks. They have radio nets, which means they're all boosting each other's rate of fire while they're near each other. Which can be a very big deal. Oh, but the Stuk G took out the EC8. And that's going to be a very big problem for the A2s. The Major is still around. The Stuk G is actually doing a pretty good job here. Took out an A2. And a Command Panzer IV arriving. And that'll definitely deal with the problem. Oh, good shot there from the A2 despite being high explosive. That's a very low percentage chance of penetrating. You're not going to be able to man that Pack 40 in the open. Again, he's got a good shot there in the Stuk. And Stuk down. That Panzer IV has to be very cautious. I would not push that far up if I were them. Germans are threatening the munitions point now. And this has been a very dangerous fight for both sides. But the Panzer II is now threatening the American base. Also Volks Grenadiers on the southern flank. Decrewing the pack. And also Open Blitz recruits, allowing them to reinforce down here. And also the Gewehr 43 with scope has also been manned on the Panzer Grenadiers here. Well, these assault Panzer Grenadiers are going to be... Oh, the also kind of sending dudes to cover. Pretty bad. But those Americans are not going to stand up to these guys. Sturm Gewehrs and MP40s on one squad. Pretty damn potent assault force. American medic station being hit. A2 has to relocate northwards. Oh, great assault got the last guy there.
Damn Crouch just wasted some of our riflemen.
Dukes is now veterancy free, oh god. That's a pretty potent force right there. Or unit anyway. But it's not going to be able to stop an A2. Using side blockers to the advantage. Panzer Grenadiers pulling back. Do you think the Lukes will get out of there? It's fine. Weird little buggy traffic jam there. Need to get that Opel Blitz repaired. I need to get all these wrecks scavenged. So the scavenging might be the first thing on their mind, which is good. Scavenging can really yield a lot here. A3 coming out, unique Sherman available to you if you're playing as Mechanized. Basically just a better A2 and everything. And it's not really that costlier.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Oh, it's also because... Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. It's not really much costlier than A2 at all. Oh, well, it's just a better A2. And you only get it if you're playing as Mechanized. Highly recommended.
In combat!
American half-track or scout car being hit there heavily. Command Sherman, not Sherman. Command Panzer for holding the center. Here's the A3.
Armor here.
Yeah, it's just a better A2 and everything.
Kampfwagen is ready.
Now, can they stop them if these Shermans coordinate? That's the question.
Panzer here.
Because the Command Panzer IV is still holding up the center here pretty well. Now, will the Germans try and take up for heavier tanks is the question. Like, if he waits long enough, or actually not long enough, just shortly, he could actually get a Tiger tank. Because here's the thing about the Tiger, you don't actually need to build the final building to get it. You just need to have tier 3. Push it from the A2 right there. That's gonna force that German command tank to pull back. Oh, good shot on both! Wow, good command tank. You have to be cautious though, you don't want to risk your tank. Are we gonna see a Tiger? Oh, looks like the MG42 is being flanked. What's what those command engineers are doing? Yep, we are seeing a Tiger tank. Okay. Germans are pulling no punches today. Looks like some heavy armor has been requisitioned here by the Panzer Grenadiers. Try and hold this little area of the Bocage. It's definitely gonna make the Americans have to think of something to deal with it. The A3 could do something if it can flank, so could the A2 technically. But the A3 has a high chance of doing it due to its speed and accuracy on the move. I believe the A3, like the EC8, is a lot more accurate on the move. I actually don't think it loses any accuracy while it's moving. Because it has, I believe, a gyroscope? A gyro stabilizer. Yeah, that's what it's called. Like a pretty big deal. And so far being prepared. Or well, repaired. Oh, there's a little graveyard up there. Little details. So many things you just don't notice on the map when you look at it. There's a lot of environmental storytelling set up sometimes. There's like a little farm there with on a truck. Like a German airfield here for a Stuka. Very fascinating. You notice so many things when you just look around. Like we even have a Panther term down here. Thinking this like this was like a German fortified area. The Americans might have encircled basically. Looks like the American tanks are on the move though. A3 is gonna lead the way. Using an explosive and killing the Panzer Grenadiers in one shot. Oh, that must hurt. Those high explosive shells can be pretty damn dangerous. But if they're just armed with high explosives, that's bad in the long run against the Panzer IV. And the Tiger tank is also on the field now. A2 down. But here's the Tiger tank. And the Tiger. A very potent German heavy tank. Quite early in the war though, I believe. It's actually not that... Oh, looks like that's Nebelwerfer barrage called in. Yep, that's a Nebelwerfer barrage. Destroying that little house. And the Tiger tank, I believe, is from 1941, so it's actually a pretty early tank in terms of timeline in the war. It's pretty aged at this point, but it's still pretty damn good. I would not say that the Tiger is a bad tank in any circumstance, really. You have to be very cautious with it. It is a heavy tank. And heavy tanks can be very clunky and unmaneuverable if in a bad position. Oh, meanwhile, the command tank is really threatening the American positions. Ostdeutschland has suffered some loss, they might want to pull back. More Panzer grenadiers have been called into the field now. Also being equipped with Sturmgewehrs and MP40s. Let's see what these American Harmonies are meant to do, in all fairness. I don't think they're expecting to fight a Tiger though, that's the thing. They spotted it. Being suppressed immediately by machine guns. And that A3 immediately has to reconsider what it's gonna do. If they can immobilize the Tiger tank, it's gonna be an easier target. Immobilizing it is the question. How are you gonna do that? Mthis is gonna turn to get a shot at it. Mthis actually has some pretty impressive penetration values. But it's just a very low caliber, so it doesn't do that much damage. But that didn't work. Just a high explosive shell to the gun and it's gone. Oh, but the Tiger is getting closer to the ooh! Tiger tried to do a attack ground shot there. Didn't penetrate though. EC8 coming up behind us, probably a good choice considering. Oh, mine! There's a mine! Oh! That's like a Fury moment right there. Oh, the Tiger tank lost his gun. And the Tiger tank is down. Oh, very good move there from the A3. And the mine, that mine really did the job. And A3 got the other command tank.
Tank support is here.
See, those gyro stabilizers can be a pretty big deal. And here's the Panzer grenadiers don't have any close range or well, long range AT. They actually have to get close to the tank. Put a cancer connector on it. American mortar down. Sherman has switched to high explosives. Ooh, missed. Another Tiger tank being prepared behind us. Whether the Germans are willing to give up yet. Here's an EC8. Probably the pinnacle of Sherman tank design. Available to mechanized and US armor. So the A3 and the EC8 actually has the exact same armor values. Probably because it's the same chassis, it's just a different turret. The Escalation's being prepared behind us in a vertical. I'm setting up with a new machine gun up here. What the Bocage grenadiers are doing. Lieutenant pushing up, but he's going to get suppressed. MG42 gonna want to move. Oh, but this is actually veterancy free just because it's been that close to the battle. Does this thing gets veterancy based just being near the front line, as I understand? I'm not sure what it gets for being a veteran though. It really makes it harder to hit. Got coming out for the United States. Mobile howitzer platform placed essentially on the Stuart chassis. Nice and quiet on the battlefield right now. Also, I'm using another flare. Very good usage of them.
The enemy is taking our territory.
The Germans are threatening the munitions point up here. Good usage of the BAR inside the building. That BAI is very dangerous, but there's just too many German submachine guns.
Panzerkampfwagen Tiger awaiting orders.
Here we have the second Tiger.
German territory, no!
They're trying to kill us.
Scott.
Standing by.
Meanwhile, Russland's got some good shots in this mechanized infantry. Both just have to pull back.
222.
But the second Tiger tank could definitely be a threat. It just needs Panzer Grenadier support.
Panzer ready for orders.
You always want to keep your tanks supported by Panzer Grenadiers. Russland is actually sniping at the vertical using the scope gewehr. Scott being used to try and heal with the pack. Got a command Panzer IV called in. That could be a problem for the Scots.
We need orders.
Scott needs to be cautious here. The American lieutenant has to pull back. American rifleman using an anti-tank grenade. Didn't do anything. Yeah, free Sherman might be serving a spade at the moment because there's a free engine nearby.
T-gun ready.
But one shot's all it's gonna take if it penetrates. Oh.
It's amazing what a few pounds of well-aimed steel can do.
No penetration. If the Tiger just stays at range, it's gonna do a lot better. The free inch though could be a problem. That's why the Panzer Grenadiers need to move alongside. Explosive going in the free inch. No penetration. And free inch down.
Taking machine gun fire.
Overall, the Tiger tank, if utilized correctly. Oh, what happened to DC-8? Oh, it went down up here. Okay. That's the command tank got it. Okay.
Tiger.
Now, if the Germans can hold on for a few more minutes, they could actually get a second Tiger again. That would make it very hard for the Americans to make a push, I think, because these Tiger tanks would just hold any armored advance. Oh, good high explosive there. And that's a dead Großdeutschland.
We have casualties.
Grenadiers ready!
MG element ready. Panzerkampfwagen Tiger awaiting orders.
Weapons. Yes?
We have some egg grenades being handed out to the Germans as well. The model with an impact grenade. Unique upgrade, I think, if you're playing as Panzer. Allows the grenades to be instant. Oh! Brian's got a very good shot there. Jamming the turret. I think with a jammed turret, that's exactly the opening the A3 wants to go for. Just needs to find an opening. Good high explosive.
AT gun has been destroyed.
Oh wait, they fixed the turret. But high explosion shells are still getting some good shots. Tiger tank will need repairs though.
Ready for action.
The pioneers are moving down. They could actually be given the repair team upgrade. I really think that would be useful to get right now for them. They have the munitions for it.
Watch for counterattacks.
Oh, and that's what those American riflemen are trying. Yeah, that's definitely not gonna work. Oh, it's an anti-tank foot rush.
Infantry unit being wiped out.
A pretty ballsy move for an American commander. We have an order. Oh, good shot actually with the bazooka, but it's not enough. Tiger is still operational. We do still have smoke, but the Americans did suffer a lot there. But Germans, I think, have suffered more. When the A3 might be going for the kill. Tiger should just be pulled back to base, in all honesty. Yeah, he can see what's happening. Oh, the A3 is going in for the kill there, indeed. Using smoke to use it to cover up its advance.
The enemy has done some losses upon us.
Yeah, but I think the A3 is giving up now, noticing the Tiger is going back to base. Now you could actually just get the repair upgrades in the base here to repair the Tiger. I don't see why you wouldn't. Well, the command tank is pushing up on the American base here. Or threatening it rather along to the post grenadiers. Wait, the Tiger's... Ooh. Need to be very cautious with that Tiger. You could get a second Tiger starting. Oh, the command tank is still pushing up here. Shot down. The Sugar team moving up. No penetration, I've accidentally missed. Able to have shots called into the American base. Oh, that's not looking good for the Americans. Got a command he said called out to deal with it. I think the Americans might be in a little bit of trouble. At least if you ask me. Well, the Americans have secured this Opel Blitz. Oh god, they lost the tracks in the command tank already. And, oh my god, that command Panzer force done an amazing job. Even the assaults up here has really worked out well for this German officer. Tiger tank is still being repaired. Even more Volksgrenadiers also getting the impact grenades. Nice to see. How effective the impact grenade is over the normal one. Plus 25, compared to 20. Probably a little bit better because it obviously doesn't have any, you know, fuse. Hits the target and then it explodes. Command tank moving up from the Panzer 2. More Ghost Deutschland called into the field. If we relocate to the northern flank. The also cannon on this Panzer 2 will just do a lot of damage at range here. Aiming for the American infantry. And some good shots in. Oh, but here comes the A3. Oh, Panzer 2 down. Stuka called in on the American base though. Nope, they did not drop because I think the officer, the Panzer 2 died.
A capture point is being overrun.
But Germans are securing a lot more territory here. Command Stuka on the field as well. Threatening the American base now, but good shot on the A3. Oh, and here comes the stolen Opel Blitz. What are the Americans can do with a stolen Opel Blitz though? That's the question. Tiger is ready. And the Tiger will definitely cause trouble. Lots of Volksgrenadiers have been assembled. Probably awaiting orders, and the Ghost Titan is also arriving. Also, the German command vehicles are just pushing in, they're blitzing. They've ordered the blitzkrieg anyway, armored lance. Artillery called in the Volksgrenadiers. A3 is coming off with cheeky shots. Oh, excuse me. I hit the microphone by mistake. Nibble there for going in. Oh, not looking good. They lost their barracks building. Yeah, I think the Americans might be in peril, especially if the Tiger on the other flank moves up. A3 down. EC8 on the field though. Good shot on the one EC8 there. Keep using its speed to its advantage. And also trade a fire. There we go, good shot. That's the advantage of the EC8 right there. It has very rapid rate of fire. But the American base has lost a lot of integrity. Tiger tank moving up. And Panzers have a lot of work cut out for them here. They're doing a good job though, mowing down the American lieutenant. Tiger's not doing much at the moment. I guess he's being very cautious with it. In case there's another mine, but I'm not sure there's another mine. Hopefully the Americans have had the opportunity to move out and plant more during the circumstances. Those are the Germans have done pretty well in this kind of engagement. Oh, Americans are using their stolen Kubels to skirmish. That's one way you can use it. Germans are pushing up now here again. Easy is moving into flank, but there's a lot of Volksgrenadiers in the way. Oh, that 57 is actually doing a good job so far. They're going about decrude. That's a lot of automatic fire coming in from all those Volksgrenadiers.
A capture point is under attack. Bastard.
Oh, the Americans are not going to be able to make a comeback here, I think, unless this EC8 is a miracle worker. Good shot there. Oh, but the Tiger got it, I think. No, that was actually the Groß Deutschland. And with that, the Allies pull back. Looks like the Germans held the Bocage here. Very impressive. I hope you all enjoyed this one. I'll see you next one, everyone. Bye-bye.